Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. Celtic Warband here, and thanks for tuning in to another epic battle in Napoleon Total War. In today's battle, we have the combined might of the French and Prussians taking on the United Kingdom and their Spanish allies. So I hope you guys do enjoy. Let's take a look at the army comps, and then we'll get the battle started. The first army on the battlefield is the glorious Kingdom of Prussia, commanded by myself, and as you can see, I have brought a lot of infantry to the battlefield. In fact, I'd say 90% of my army is infantry. In the front lines here, I have 8 units of musketeers, followed closely behind by 3 units of grenadiers and 2 units of foot guards. The foot guards are my best units, and I'll be keeping them in reserve with my general. You can see I've got my general's bodyguard here, and I've got 2 units of cavalry. I've got a unit of lancers and a unit of hussars. And then over on this side of the battlefield, I've got 2 units of 7-pound howitzers. And that rounds out the Prussian forces, so let's go ahead and take a look at my allies. The next army on the battlefield is the glorious French, commanded by DeBoss 11111, and you can see that his army is moving forwards, trying to take the town before the enemy does. You see the cavalry there up on the slopes. He has a couple units of cavalry, I believe one of the chassé à cheval and one of the guard chassé à cheval. He's got 2 units of artillery. He has a 6-inch howitzer for both of them. I believe the other one is over here. He's got a couple units of light infantry, the Voltigé, I believe he had 2 units of them. And then he has 3 units of National Guard, so these guys are kind of militia units. And then he had a couple units, 1 unit of Fusiliers of the Line, 3 units of Polish Legion, and then way over here on the flank he had 2 units of Old Guard, his best unit. And then, of course, we do have the general over here, the general staff, and that rounds out the French forces. So let's go ahead and take a look at the enemies. The first enemy army on the battlefield today is Great Britain, commanded by the Red Celt, and you can see he's got his units moving forwards very quickly towards the center of the map. He's got a couple units of light foot here, followed by some King German Legion foot, and he has 1 unit of 6-pounder horse artillery here on his right-hand side. In the center, his main body of infantry, consisting of 5 units of foot, is moving forwards. He also has 2 units, elite units in reserve, the 42nd Foot Black Watch and the Coldstream Guards. We also have the general staff over there. And then we've got his cavalry moving forwards very quickly with another unit of 6-pounder horse artillery. His cavalry consisting of the 10th Hussars and the 15th Hussars. And he also has some more infantry here as well. I believe it was King German Legion Light Foot. He has a couple units of them. And that rounds out the United Kingdom's force, so let's go ahead and take a look at his ally. The final enemy army on the battlefield today is the Spanish, commanded by Harry Hobbit, and right in the front lines he has 4 units of light infantry, followed closely behind by a very solid line of Fusiliers, 5 units of them. For his 2 elite units, he has Walloon Guards, very solid infantry, he has 1 here and 1 over on the far side. In the center, he has his 2 units of 6-pound horse artillery. And we also have a unit of militia, the Voluntarios de la Corona, I think is how you pronounce it. And he's got some grenadiers as well. His general staff is here, and he's brought 4 units of cavalry. He has 2 units of lanceros, and then 2 units of the Coraceros Españoles, I hope is how you pronounce it. But look at these guys, very, very cool. He has 2 units on either flank, so he's got the 2 units of cav there, and then he has the 2 units of cav over on this side as well. And that rounds out the Spanish army, and that rounds out the army comps, so let's go ahead and get to the battle. Alright guys, welcome to the battlefield, and as you can see we have the Prussians moving very quickly to try and capture the town. I love AOSTA Valley because it forces all the attackers to be so aggressive. You can see that the United Kingdom is actually already in the town as we speak. The combined might of the French and the Prussians are also moving in. We've got the chassé à cheval moving forwards to try and claim at least half of the town and secure some buildings so that we can set up some of our troops inside them. But we've already got the light foot who outran the Prussians and the French, and they are already formed up with their little slice of the town. So they've captured a few buildings here, and it looks like they are going to set up 1 unit of 6-pounder horse artillery here, and I believe the other one was on the other side. I don't know if he's held it back for now, Or is he... Oh, okay, he's bringing it up on this side. And yes, I did have my 2 units of cavalry here hidden in the trees, but he has noticed that, and a huge mistake from me, I am completely unaware that there are any forces from Great Britain over on this flank, so that is really unfortunate for me. I'm too busy here trying to form up a battle line. And guys, typically I do try to remove the banners and also the minimap just for cinematic purposes, but this battle is so chaotic that it's just going to be necessary to have the banners there just so we can make sense of what is going on. But here we go, we've actually got the Chassé à Cheval firing at some of the Lightfoot here that are in loose formation. I'm pushing some of my foot guards into this farmhouse here to be able to get a commanding view. And we have the Spanish, who are very slowly moving into the town. They've got one of their artillery units here, but they are mostly sending all of their troops very wide around, almost in an encirclement here. But I don't want to miss too much of the opening fight here, guys. So you can see that I'm still trying to form up my forces, but the United Kingdom is ready and waiting, and they are the ones getting first blood here, which is really unfortunate. I remember when I played this battle that I was having a hard time here. I think I misclicked and 3 of my units started to move when they shouldn't have. So my battle line is just an absolute mess. So Red Celt here really having a heyday against my forces as they are not formed up. But a couple of my units we are exchanging fire with the foot that are over here. And we've got another unit in this large farmhouse. But yeah, just having the Lightfoot in the front lines here is really going to help Red Celt out early. But yeah, look at that too. This entire building coming down under the heavy fire from the British artillery. But now my line is somewhat formed up. But you can see, look at all the men that I've lost already. This one's down to 107 from 160. And that's just me trying to form up my lines. Over here, we've got the French setting up. They see that the Spanish are moving some troops around. They also had a unit of their 6-pounder horse artillery, and they've got a perfect commanding view of the battlefield if they put it up on that hill. Looking over here, yeah, you can see that my 1 unit of Hussars has routed, and the 2nd unit, the Lancers, are just kind of sitting there, the 15th Hussars and the 10th Hussars, ready to charge in, and I still do not notice what's going on with my cavalry. I'm so focused on this main front line here with my Prussians. Just desperately trying to hold the town while I give more time for DeBoss and his French troops to form up. We've also got, it looks like some of the Lightfoot are repositioning, which is good for me, but there we go. Oh, yes, and my artillery coming down there in full force, trying to hit the lines of foot that Red Celt has formed up. Come on, boys, give a volley. There we go. Yes, I'm getting a good volley off on him, but he is returning fire. And as for the French, they're kind of holding their units in reserve. They're allowing me to take the brunt of this force, which I think is a good plan, because the Spanish are not even engaged yet. So I think DeBoss is really waiting to see how many units are committed over on this flank by Harry Hobbit. He does have 2 units of light infantry here. I believe that DeBoss does have some Volksige here. And I've got my artillery set up on the only hill that I could really find. And they are just bombarding the lines of Great Britain. You can see there's some huge craters right in front of the light infantry where we were firing. Over here, though, yep, you can see that my cavalry was charged in the trees. And the British are definitely winning this engagement. My Lancers not only didn't get off a counter charge, but they are outnumbered 2-1. And the Red Celt has easily conquered this left-hand flank. He's also got a unit here of 6-pounder horse artillery, and he's also funneling some units here through the trees, as you can see. He's also, I think he has a good flank on me. Yeah, I had to readjust one of my foot guard units, which I had planned to hold in reserve, to try and hold this choke point so that I didn't get outflanked. I also have a very depleted unit of grenadiers here. I think they are moving forwards to try and use their grenades. Is that going to be successful? Oh, they did break, so I don't know if they were able to get their grenades thrown off in time, but now my foot guards are in a pretty solid position to begin firing down on them. And as for this flank, actually, yes, we've pushed them out of this farmhouse, which is excellent. The French have sent some National Guard and Polish Legion up to help me. And the Grenadiers here are now pressing very heavily on the Red Celt's flank. You can see that he's had to readjust his left flank and pull the foot back because they were just getting annihilated there by my troops. He does have a unit in the farmhouse, and then his foot line has actually pulled back from their original position. You can see all of my dead Prussians here, though. My line has taken an absolute battering, and I am sending some of my troops that were held in reserve to plug the gaps. Over here, we finally got some of the Spanish troops coming forward, so we've got some Fusiliers going to be challenging the 18th Regiment, the Brave. There we go, getting some volleys off. Not very good positioning there by the French, though. And it looks like the Spanish are more interested in going after this unit of light infantry. You don't want to have your light infantry in range of the line infantry. How is Harry Hobbit? Oh, yes, so he has taken a very commanding view of the battlefield here. So he will be able to volley pretty much all of our positions from this hilltop. There we go. Beautiful shots there. And he is focusing, it looks like, right on the French lines here. And also, I think he is trying to hit my artillery as well. There it goes, just zipping right overhead. And look at this. We've actually got the United Kingdom in behind our lines here. And it looks like they are going to set up for some canister shot here. Oh, yes. Destroying some of the National Guard. Thankfully, it is just the National Guard, and surprisingly, they did not break. They are actually going to be able to engage the artillery in melee and possibly break it. We've got the 10th Hussars pushing in as well to try and stop them from breaking the artillery. And we've got the King German Legion Lightfoot here as well, but the French are well aware of what is happening, and good on DeVos here, really protecting my rear with his troops, and also my general's bodyguard, who is at risk of being outflanked and annihilated. But just look at this battle, guys. I'll go ahead and give you back the radar map here. You can see where we are kind of formed up in this little horseshoe here. So we did manage to control this flank, and you can see I'm actually pushing with my Grenadiers to try and take this farmhouse. Red Celt is looking a little soft on his left flank, but now we've got the might of the French pushing in, and the Spanish are being forced back from the center of the town. However, they do have some reinforcements here. They do have 2 units of cavalry moving at a pretty healthy rate. And finally, we have the Spanish on this right-hand flank engaging the French. He's going to have to be careful, though, with the stakes here. DeVos actually deploying these stakes with his light infantry before retreating. Come on, we can hold them. The Spanish are definitely the more healthy of the two. The Red Celt and myself are both taking heavy casualties here in the city center, trying to force the other one out. And thankfully, with the help of the French, it looks like we are doing just that. Look at the bombardment there on the... Oh my goodness! On the United Kingdom forces. Right overhead there as well. I'm surprised that this unit of foot is still holding. We've also... Oh, there we go. They've just broken as the King German Legion foot forms up and gets ready to fire at my depleted units of musketeers. But, yeah, the bombardment here is relentless. Look at all of the dead. And we're actually trying to focus, I believe, this building, but I do push 2 units of Grenadiers, very good in melee, into this building to try and break them. However, we've got some reinforcements here. We've got the 42nd Black Watch and the Coldstream Guards over here. I am quickly forming up some musketeers. I'm bringing forward some more musketeers here, and we're just going to try and get a really good position on this unit of Coldstream Guards, but this is the best unit of the United Kingdom, so hopefully we'll be able to hold here. How are we doing over in the rear? It looks like the French were able to drive the United Kingdom away, which is excellent. And I've actually was bringing a couple units around to flank them, but the French did such a good job that they weren't actually needed. So I'm going to bring them back through the choke point and have them join the fight. Over here, though, it looks like the battle is slowly getting underway. It's more of a skirmish at this point, with the artillery trying to get some really good hits. And actually, they are destroying this French cavalry here. My goodness. hopefully we can get the Garde Chassé Cheval getting in with that infantry. Oh, the volleys there, though. No, that has just mitigated their charge. And they will be breaking. Yes, there we go. However, I do have my artillery focusing that area of the battlefield. Oh, no, not yet, actually. I'm still focusing... Yeah, I'm starting to focus the Spanish over here, and also this building that they've held here. Trying to break it down and thus kill the unit of Fusiliers in that building. How are we looking over here with the Coldstream Guard? Yeah, they have annihilated what I had put up there to slow them down. He's actually forming up over here to try to get a flank on me, but I see that. I'm going to readjust. And I also have my 2 units, my Musketeers and my Foot Guards, going to come up behind the Coldstream Guards. And that should be the nail in the coffin for those units. You can see I'm quickly trying to get them into position before Red Celt is able to withdraw. But yeah, this battle is just so quick. That's why I kind of needed to have the flags over top, or the unit identifiers, because there's so much going on here that we really just need to have an overview of the battle, and then a couple of zoomed in line fights. Yes, but this is perfect. So the Coldstream Guards are continually moving forwards, but now I've got my Foot Guards in his flank. And Red Celt sees that, but it's way too late. We're getting a ton of kills on that Coldstream Guard as it tries to advance. You can see the numbers steadily dropping there, down to 83. More French reinforcements. We've got the Old Guard over here as well, pushing really heavily on this right flank. Just clear away the building notifications there. Oh, this poor Coldstream Guard just being slaughtered, and there we go. They have retreated under very heavy fire. Over here, though, still very passive. Harry Hobbit in the Spanish not wanting to move in just yet. He is over here trying to help the remnants of the United Kingdom, or Great Britain, hold what left of the town they actually still hold. We do have a farmhouse here that's still under control, under the control of Great Britain, but I'm sending my Foot Guards and some Musketeers into that building. I'm going to try and conquer this from them and push them back even further. And it shouldn't be too hard. My Foot Guards are pretty solid in melee, but we'll have the numbers on our side as well. Look at the amount of dead bodies in there. We do have one more unit here of foot, but there we go. I was able to conquer that building. It looks like the Red Celt is going to continue sending that foot in, but that is to no avail. We'll be able to break that unit quite easily. And my Musketeers are pushing forwards. However, do we have a charge into melee of these Fusiliers? No, they break just in time. Just in time. We've got the King German Legion foot here as well that have broken, and the French-Prussian alliance has pretty much conquered the town. The only thing left under the enemy's control is these 2 buildings on the far side. However, the Spanish are still pushing very heavily on this flank, and you can see that the French are taking an absolute beating from the Spanish artillery that is up on that hillside. That, and coupled with the light infantry and their constant barrage, the Polish Legion there just really outmatched. There we go, boys. Get some return volleys, but it looks like, do we have some cavalry moving forwards? I believe we do. They are being focused down very heavily, though. Yes, excellent, DeVos. Stopping that cavalry charge before it even reaches the lines. Look at the smoke, and look at the devastation already on this battlefield. You can see the original line where the Prussians took heavy casualties while trying to form up. The British, again, beating us to the center of the town, but then the British, under heavy fire from the Prussians and the French combined with the artillery barrages, just annihilated their forces, and a lot of cavalry here dead as well. We've got some light foot here. We also have the Fusiliers. We've got the 6-pounder horse artillery just in the city center. It looks like they're trying to fire down on the French lines. But I am pushing with the Old Guard and the National Guard. Again, trying to take this house and then just provide some cover fire for the French as they flank around the remaining units in the town. However, as we send more units to the front, it's looking a little dire over here. You can see we've got more Fusiliers coming over here. We've got some cavalry waiting for the opportune moment to charge. And we've got the light infantry, again, just destroying DeBoss's lines. We do have a French artillery unit. It looks like he is going to try and move that. Or is this mine? No, apologies, this is mine. I'm going to try and readjust this to get some volleys onto the Fusiliers. Look at that. One volley breaks the chassé there, leaving just a very thin line of French line infantry. But yeah, quickly trying to readjust my artillery to face this direction. However, really good positioning again by Harry Hobbit. Very safe part of the battlefield, a very elevated part of the battlefield. Really well done there. Yeah, you can see just them exploding overhead. Even the ones that hit this this little rock formation still have the potential to kill some of the French linesmen here. And it looks like we actually have a charge from the Spanish light infantry here. May have used up their ammunition and now they're moving into melee. Let's actually zoom in and see a bit of that fighting. The four exhausted French trying to hold. Even the light infantry seem to be a match, but there we go. Looks like they were broken off, and the Polish Legion again getting some good volleys. But the Spanish tide just does not end. More fresh units are just pushed in to this gap. We do have the French artillery here as well, which is excellent. But there we go. Yes, just trying to focus this unit here of Fusiliers with my artillery. I've got the one unit there. And then the second unit is focusing the light infantry over here. Harry Hobbit is on it, though. He sees that his unit of infantry is being focused by my artillery, and he decides to charge. With the overwhelming numbers that he has, he should be fine. Look at this. We just got an all-out Spanish charge. Come on, hold, brave French, hold! There we go. I'm trying to focus the French cavalry in the back now. Don't want to risk getting friendly fire here. However, they are just going to power through the very light French lines here. And we've got some generals that have been killed, but we'll take a look at that in a second. Oh, hold, French, hold! It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Ooh, some friendly fire there. There's a good hit overhead. And yeah, just like that, we have the Spanish breaking through. I quickly tried to convert to canister shot to kill the infantry, but it is just not enough. And we don't have any other infantry over here to stop the Spanish from breaking through. So let's take a look. DeBoss's French general has been killed, but then the Red Celts general, that would be the general of Great Britain, also killed. Meanwhile, things have kind of calmed down here in the city center. Most of the fighting has stopped. All of the fighting is now taking place actually outside of the city, with some small amounts of fighting at the edges. You can see we've got the Fusiliers here under fire from the French artillery. And we've got the National Guard moving forwards as well. The Spanish trying to hold here. Oh, they might have ran out of ammo, so now they're going to try to charge in. All the while, the Fusiliers desperately trying to hold. And there we go. The National Guard do have the numbers. They may be able to break the Fusiliers. However, we've got a unit of volunteers, or voluntarios, right in behind, so that if the Fusiliers do break, the National Guard will expose themselves to some volleys. But no, the Fusiliers did hold. We've got some Polish Legion actually retreating, and I finally captured the last town from some Spanish troops inside the city. So yeah, the town is completely under our control, but not for long. You can see that we actually have some Spanish cavalry here hitting the 6-inch howitzer, and I'm having to send my general in to try and stop them from breaking through. Thankfully, I still have a unit of my artillery here, actually, and I am just trying my best to get some good canister shot volleys. Oh, yeah, that was a good shot there on the Walloon Guard. They're down to 100 men. The French Old Guard is actually routing, which is unfortunate, and here comes the charge from the Spanish cavalry. And I don't think I'm going to get another volley there. No, I am not. And there we go. So we have captured the city center, but this is all that remains of our forces. We've got a couple units of French infantry here. We've also got one Polish legion here that is in square formation, trying to save my Prussian general, but as you heard, unfortunately, I did lose my general in that fight as well, and Harry Hobbit quickly going to withdraw his cavalry away from the Polish legion in square formation. And DeBoss, yeah, needs to regroup with his forces here. Balance of power is heavily against us now. It had looked like we were going to capture the town. The enemy was on the back foot, and now we are down to 3 units, and I think I had 1 unit? Yeah, I've got a unit of musketeers here. We've got a unit of Spanish grenadiers, my apologies, that tried to volley and then retreat, but I was able to set up and get a volley on them. Just trying to do my part to help the poor outnumbered French get the victory. But the superior Spanish position and just that relentless bombardment with the artillery. So he's got an artillery piece here, and he's still got his artillery piece, which he's limbered up there, and he has his general bodyguard. So he's got 2 artillery, his general. He's got some lanceros there. He's got some infantry here, fusiliers and volunteers. And he's got some Walloon guards, 2 units of them, albeit they are pretty battered, but they are Walloon guards nonetheless. He's got another unit of lanceros and his Coraceros Español. So he has 3 units of Cav 4, if you include his general. But just look at the absolute carnage on this battlefield. Now we have both DeBoss and Harry Hobbit doing a bit of maneuvering. They're resting their troops, so we'll make a little cut here and we'll bring it back once the fighting resumes. Alright guys, we have the French-Polish Legion here, finally getting some shots off on the Spanish cavalry. You can see Harry Hobbit really not too bothered with getting this cavalry out of the way and allowing the Polish Legion to weaken them further. We also have one of the buildings held by the National Guard, and then we have my Musketeer unit and the French Old Guard over in reserve. Now, the only thing that did happen during that pretty extensive cut was the Spanish general actually killed by the stakes that DeBoss had placed earlier on in the battle. You could see this is all of the Spanish general here with the gray horses. So really unfortunate there, Harry Hobbit actually losing his general while redeploying his troops over to this side of the map. He actually ran his general into the spikes and he was unfortunately slain. So now the balance of power is against us, but the Spanish morale is at an all-time low. We also have a unit of Walloon guards here. It looks like they are going to move in and try and challenge the Polish Legion for this building. Come on, boys, push in. There you go. They paused just for a second to allow the French to get a couple more kills on them, but finally we have the push for the house. And the Walloon Guard, the elites of the Spanish army, hopefully they will be able to turn the tide there. We also have some light infantry here as well that may be pushed in to that farmhouse. I'm not sure if DeBoss is going to move some units over there yet, but there we go. Look at that. Looks like the Spanish actually opening up with their artillery on this house. I guess he's locking them in, or locking the Polish Legion in melee with these 2 units that are expendable, and then just firing on the units until the Polish Legion are destroyed. But that is very unfortunate for those Spanish that may not actually escape that farmhouse alive. We got the Grenadiers here as well in reserve, and he's still got that very powerful cavalry, which is a worry. I'm over here trying to do my best with what little I do have. I've got my 1 unit of Musketeers here, firing at the unit of Voluntarios de la Corona. So going up against some National Guard. I've got 92 men. They've got 149, so they are a very healthy unit. However, they are just militia, and they are redeploying, allowing me to get some more kills on them. and their morale is plummeting. It is not looking good for them. We've also got the Old Guard coming over here to lend a hand. I think DeBoss recognizing that this is a unit kind of all on its own, and if we can kind of divide the units and then conquer them one by one, we might actually have a chance. But yes, you can see that they are losing men quite quickly, down to under 120 men. My musketeers desperately trying to lend a hand to the beleaguered French. And what do we have over here? Yeah, that's my musketeers there. We've got the Old Guard. We've also got the National Guard coming in as well. And it looks like the Voluntarios are routing under the pressure placed upon them with that National Guard on the flank. So well done there to DeBoss. However, we do have the Walloon Guards moving forwards. Now, did he destroy the Polish Legion? I think he did. Yeah, I think that that barrage was successful there. So we just got the Old Guard, we've got the Musketeers, and the National Guard. I'm quickly trying to throw my units in to just slow the advance of the Spanish and give DeBoss all the time he needs to readjust. And here we go. We actually have a cavalry charge, but thankfully I did see this. I get my musketeers into square formation, and that is a huge problem for the Spanish. They still do get a bit of a charge off, but now I can get rid of his cavalry, and that will sincerely help out DeBoss. If I can eliminate this cavalry early on, he won't have to deal with it later. I know that my musketeers aren't going to hold for long. And yeah, especially with the pressure from the Fusiliers over there on that flank. Oh, I'm just hoping that I could at least break this one unit of Lanceros before I break myself. And yes, there we go. Yes, the Lanceros are routing and they will not be returning. And my units are able to fire once again because they are not in melee. I quickly try to get them out of square formation, but we've got the Grenadiers on the flank, and that is too much for my musketeers, and I have been routed from the battlefield. So it pretty much all comes down to the National Guard here fighting these Fusiliers, which they're not going to do very well at all. And we've got the Old Guard, which is holding out in this farmhouse with 135 men remaining. Look at the amount of units still left on the battlefield for the Spanish. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units versus 2. And I'm thinking it's going to be 1 very shortly here because the National Guard is a pretty crap unit. I don't think that they're going to be able to hold against the Fusiliers. Although the Fusiliers, it looks like they are trying to readjust, so that does give the National Guard a couple of free shots on them. And over here, what's going on? Oh, yes, and we've actually got a unit pushed in to fight the Old Guard in melee. That's actually a huge mistake. Yes, they are Grenadiers, but the Grenadiers are not as good in melee as the Old Guard. And I think that Harry Hobbit realizes this. He's going to send his 2 units of Walloon Guard in, and this unit of light infantry is probably going to pressure the National Guard. And we've got the Voluntarios, which have returned from routing. They're actually going to outflank the National Guard. National Guard is going to charge in melee as well. I have no idea who's going to win that engagement, but I think the Fusiliers are coming in to finish the job there. And Harry Hobbit, I don't know why he has brought up his cavalry here, his Lanceros, but he's sending 4 units in to challenge the Old Guard in this house. So it's an all-out brawl in this farmhouse. It's do or die here. If they break the Old Guard, the Spanish win. If the Old Guard somehow manage to hold on, then the Spanish are sincerely weakened. And actually, it looks like a couple units... Yeah, the Walloon Guard and the light infantry have broken, so we've got Grenadiers and Walloon Guards still remaining. But some of the Old Guard is not engaged in melee, and they're just getting free shots on the cavalry here. You can see that the Lanceros have already routed. And the National Guard holds on. No way. That is insane. However, we do have the General, what's left of the Bodyguard over here. The bounce power is now even. Will the National Guard be able to hold in the face of the General? And, okay, the Fusiliers have come back, which is excellent. And I'm hoping, I think this cavalry comes back too. Oh, but the Grenadiers, they are putting up quite a fight. 47 of them to 85 Old Guard. The Walloon Guard have broken completely. And the National Guard just quickly trying to charge in. They are forming up to go after the Fusiliers here. But I am more interested in this fight. And yes, one of the cavalry units have come back, but I think both of them actually come back. Oh, the Old Guard, come on. Old Guard, and I have to say I am extremely impressed with this National Guard. Well done to them. And we do have what's left of the bodyguard way over in the trees, although I don't know why he's hiding this army, or sorry, this unit. There we go, they are coming out of the trees. I was gonna say, I don't know why he's hiding the unit, because surely he knows that his general was killed on those stakes. And there we go, the Fusiliers have broken once again under the overwhelming pressure from the National Guard, and the Old Guard has held in this farmhouse. But yes, okay, we've got the Lanceros coming back, the Coraceros Español, they are coming back as well. And the National Guard, they are winning slightly. And we've got the general way over here. I'm wondering if the Spanish are going to try and surround this National Guard unit with the cavalry, because the National Guard can't do square formation. DeBoss should really actually get it back to the Old Guard, where they'll be able to provide some kind of covery fire. But actually, they are able to hit the Lanceros from this position. Very good range on the Old Guard. But yes, here we go. Now we've got the General's Bodyguard coming in as well. So this will surely break the National Guard. A small unit, but still a huge charge there. And yes, that has shattered the National Guard. So it's 3 units of cavalry, but it all comes down to the 81 French soldiers that still hold this battlefield. It is 1 unit versus 3 units, but it's 3 units of cavalry versus 1 unit of Old Guard. Absolutely amazing that they have held for this long, and they are holding strong in this farmhouse. And here come the 81 brave French soldiers. They have broken cover from the safety of the farmhouse and are now pursuing the Spanish cavalry. And it looks like they are going to be surrounded from 3 sides. We've got the cavalry approaching from every direction, but the Old Guard is going to go into square formation. And that should secure the victory for this Old Guard here. Surely the Spanish cavalry can't hold on against the Old Guard in such a solid formation. A last desperate charge from the Spanish, but the French do hold. With 73 men remaining on the battlefield, the French and the Prussians have the valley. Well done, and there we go, guys. I hope you did enjoy that very close battle. You can see the 4 players here deploying very similar amounts of men. Actually, Harry Hobbit and myself have the exact same amount, but me losing 800, 1,850, 1,809 French perished, and 1,795 and 1,779 of the Spanish. For the kills, DeBoss getting the win there, and then surprisingly Red Kilt, actually. He was the one who was kind of knocked out first, but he seemed to do a lot of damage against my troops. And look at this, actually. Same amount of deployed units and exact same amount of enemies killed for me and Harry Hobbit. Taking a look at my kills here, yeah, 267 with the Foot Guards, very solid unit. Unfortunately, the other one only got 20. 128 and 112 by my Grenadiers, and a couple of my Musketeer units getting over 100 kills as well. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this in the future, and I'll see you in the next one.